Okay, this one is more of an investigation than a tutorial video. I woke up this morning with the question, is it possible to create a Camera Obscura in Blender? What is a Camera Obscura? Well, Camera Obscura literally means dark room, and it's the name given to a darkened room with a small hole or lens at one side where light travels through and projects an image to the opposing wall. It's the basic idea behind a photo camera. One of the properties of a Camera Obscura is that the projected light or image is turned upside down. Is this the case with Blender? Will there be a difference in Eevee or Cycles? Probably, but let's find out and build our very own Camera Obscura in Blender. Alright, we're not going to delete the default cube this time. We're going to delete the camera, going to delete this light, and we are going to subdivide the cube. Now select this vertex and with Ctrl-Shift-B create a bevel, a small one, and then going to increase the segments and change the shape to 0.085. Pretty cool. We have made a small circle from which we can delete the faces. And now we have a default cube with a small pinhole here. So let's select everything except for these faces in the back, and we're going to give this a material. Let's make that black, no specular and no roughness, and assign it. So now we have a black cube, a white face in the back, and a small pinhole in the front. Now we're going to create a light, a point light, and move that in front of the hole and give it 1000 watts. Then we're going to add a camera so you can see the projected wall. Let's go to camera view, change the focal length so that the whole wall is visible. And then we go to rendered view, and now we can see that the light source from outside is projected on this back wall. Why do we see these scattered circles? That's because the Eevee render engine by default has its shadows on soft shadow, so if you deselect that, you get a nice point projected. So now, what do we actually see? Is this the light source, or is this the shape of the hole we just created? Let's find out. So let's just create another light here, but let's duplicate this one and move it a little bit above the previous light. And now we go back to camera view and we see two lights, but the new one is below the first one. So actually that is correct. That's exactly what you would expect from a Camera Obscura. And if we add more lights, we go to camera view, you can see that it's exactly what we would expect. All the lights we created are upside down, projected on the back face. But do we see the lights or do we see the shape? So I'll show you something else. We are going to create an area light, because the area light, you can change the shape of it. So that's pretty cool. Give it 1000 watts. Duplicate this. Cool, now we have this T shape. So let's go to camera view and find out what Eevee does with this. It creates two dots. That's a bit disappointing, isn't it? If we would go to Cycles, this is what we see. Isn't that cool? This is exactly what you want to see. So that's the difference between Cycles and Eevee. Eevee just, it shows you the shadow, but Cycles shows you the light.